Hey, Gutfoxx here. So, face of the franchise. They are out there. They're earnable for free just by grinding the game. I'm going to rank them from 30 to 1. If you don't know where you're getting them from, you can either get them from the market like I showed you or the feature programs face of the franchise. Now, unfortunately, a big L happened. These no-sell face of the franchise cards, they're random. But once you do get to the auctionable ones, they're choice. So it's an interesting dynamic. I really wish they made these ones themselves non-auction or made them non-random. So you can only get a few of them, but I want to go through, since you only get a few of them, which ones you should really look into taking for your team, the most powerful ones in my opinion out there. It'll be interesting to see what their price ends up being. And it doesn't look like a whole lot of them are really listed at all. Well, 0 are listed at the moment, but anyways, let's talk face of the franchise. 30 to 1. Let's bring up the notepad list. The worst one, in my opinion. Now, all these cards are pretty good, right? Versus what we're going to see out there right now. All these cards will be able to play and play over many other live series cards and other cards. Maybe I can, I'm just going to hit triangle on all of them so you guys can see their full thing instead of, let me move myself up a little bit. Let's shrink in ourselves. So anyways, Andrew Benintendi is my least favorite one of the group. Be like, wow, that's actually pretty good stats. They are pretty good stats, right? He is a jack of all trades. I don't think he does anything like insane, but being a jack of all trades has value, right? He doesn't like mash the cover off the ball with only a 78, 66 power righty, power lefty. So the ball's not going to like fly out of the park. You'll see somebody with much higher power. And like I said, like if you want an average player, here it is. But like these cards are so good, you don't really need somebody just average or slightly above average for what you're seeing online. All right, next up is another one that I'm actually surprised with how low I got him on this list. Lindor in the NL East. Oops, not there. That's not where I wanted you. Lindor here. What's the issue with him? Is like another guy. Like he's got good power righty, bad contact. Like I feel like if you're good at the game, especially early on when you're playing like at the low end of ranked seasons or just all-star, if you're playing the event or something like that, 85 power, it's pretty good, especially out of a middle infielder. Speed is only 69, which isn't great. You're gonna see some pretty fast guys. I really do like his reaction and fielding. He's a stud out there. So overall, like switch hitting, I love it. But I don't love, like, he just doesn't like do it for me with the lack of speed. The contact and power is just like fine. So I think Lindor is a good card, but I got him low on the list for a reason because we're gonna get to some great cards. And you really, I don't know. No. Let's wait to reveal higher up on the list. Carson Kelly in the NL West. I like that right there. Carson Kelly, so I can like line it up a little bit better. Carson Kelly over here. And I do want to let you guys know, quirks, he doesn't have any active quirks right now, but they are active on this set of cards. So that is very cool that we got the active quirks on these things, making them even better. As we get higher up the list, we'll see some more active quirks. But anyways, Carson Kelly. Why? It's because he's basically terrible against righties, right? 59-74. Like if you if you do a platoon with Carson Kelly and like a catcher that mashes righties, like a left-handed guy, you've got yourself basically the best catcher in the game, I would say, because he's pretty darn good at defense. Speed, obviously not. We'll see a catcher later that's much faster, but most catchers don't have a lot of speed themselves. Overall, a pretty solid player, but only against lefties. So that major hole in his game takes him down and lowers him on the list. The issue is like he's got a very valuable position. So like catchers themselves are going to be kind of like elevate a little just because it's so hard to find good ones. I will say this year's game though has provided us quite a few good catchers, to be fair. Jake Cronenworth will be my number 27 on the list. Why is the Crone zone so bad? Because he's got like okay numbers, really middling power versus lefties. He's got good speed though, good fielding. I do like him there. I just don't think he has that like it factor. He's not gonna like mash for you. You're not gonna build a line around him. He's gonna be hit like 8, 9 down there. Well, probably 8 since your pitcher has to hit 9. There's no DH this year. Maybe next year, or maybe they'll patch it in later. We don't know. But anyways, that's where it's at. Number 26. Talk about somebody with like a hole in their game. Votto, right? One of the greatest of our generation, if not, maybe he's considered previous generation now. I don't know, but against lefties, he's terrible. And I think there's a lot of good first basemen and corner infielders out there that you don't really need to waste a spot at first base on a platoon player. Maybe it's worth having him even lower in the list, but I say like as just a bench bat, he provides a ton of value for you with 89, 108 off the bench, and then you could stay in and play the game as a very competent first baseman there. If you do, platoon him or just bring him in to sub in at like if your first baseman's a right-handed hitter, and then they bring in like a righty later on, or they start the game. You have different ways of using it, but maybe Votto could have been lower on this list. I just like the fact that he's got 108 power in a game that, it's early on. There's not a ton of cards outside of like the very top end that have that kind of like prestigious power right now. Talk about power. CJ Cron is, got it in spades. He does lack, he has a little bit of a hole in his swing against righties for the contact versus righties. But again, like I said, the lower end of the ladder, that is totally fine. Sorry, that's a little bit of a bug. Lower end of the ladder, like having a little bit lower contact is something you can deal with. You're going to face a majority right-handed pitchers, although I see a lot of like Randy Johnson's out there since he was that 88 from that. Speed is low, but that means you're like basically forced to put him at first base. Like we're talking about like Votto and platoons here. Like I said, I don't love it at that position since it's a very like unneeded position because there's so many good first basemen and like same with things outfielders. But overall, this card, great power versus righties and lefties. Great contact versus lefties. You see a lefty on the mound, you're salivating with CJ. The problem is righties are going to kind of tie you up a little bit. I wish in the future they'd add like, what kind of hitter they are. Pull like they do on their base cards. Just something to note going forward. But I don't know. I'm surprised they haven't done that kind of stuff yet. Put more information on the card. Number 24. I originally actually had this guy much higher on my list. Then I went back and I always like, double, triple check my list like freaking Santa Claus finding out naughty people IRL. Kyle Tucker. Like just look at that stat. It's like so full everywhere. The issue is the spot is like his speed's only 62. So like 95 steal, 97 base running aggressive. Like aggressiveness is like a CPU stat. Don't even look at the base running aggressiveness. Steal stat's super high, but like, dude, you're gonna get yacked out with only 62 speed on it. So like the steal, but it feels like almost fake news right there. His fielding is great. His reaction is phenomenal. A fine arm right there at 75. But it is gonna be outfield, and I feel like 62 is borderline too slow, being able to range where you are. But I like the bat, left-handed with great power against lefties. Got those reverse splits. I do like reverse splits more than like straight up splits, because then like if you're facing a lefty as a lefty, you're like, oh man, I suck. But like if you're reverse splitted, you're like, actually, you know what, I do better against lefties as a lefty, even though you have that disadvantage because balls break away from you. But then against righties, you still got that advantage for you. It's just like, I don't know, it just helps me hit, or just I feel like it's better for cards. You see that on Trout too, the reverse splits. I think they're just sexy that way. Anyways, so I think he's another one that does things well. 94 power there, but 62 speed. I feel like in the outfield, kind of murked the card for me. Even though he does have really high reactions, which kind of makes up for it since they are important. The arm, if the arm was like 90, I think he'd be higher on this list. I feel like he's just got enough wrong with him that I don't love him. Emmanuel Clase is a weird situation. Emmanuel Clase, I love an outlier cutter. You see people struggle, even with like last year when he got a late season card, that outlier on a cutter. Is he the only one in the game with an outlier cutter? I might be wrong. There might be one more or a couple more. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into it too much this year's game, but like outlier cutter is rare. The issue is like, what else is he going to throw? Right? Slider, it's still a fast slider with a similar braking motion, a little bit more break on it. I do really like the 93 break on the slider. And then the four seam is basically going to be the same speed as his cutter, just a little bit, just going to be straight instead of cutting in a little bit. Now, let's not get it twisted. The cutter is right there with the sinker as like the best two pitches in the game. So it's a phenomenal pitch, but like, how much can a guy be off one pitch with like no changeup, no vertical breaking pitch? 106 hits per nine is really nice for this time of the game. It's a good card. Good control too. Control on pitches are amazing. But how much is like a two pitch pitcher? Maybe I'm too low. I don't know. I gotta try out this Clase. I might be a little low on him. He might actually play a lot better than I have him ranked. It's just mentally I have a hard time with Emmanuel Clase and his lack of pitches. But, bringing it in one inning and guys might get tied up. Alex Manoah right here on the AL East is my number 22 on the list. Let me know what you guys think about Clace. Am I super low on Clace, or anybody really? Let me know in the comment section below. Always looking to hear feedback, especially like, the stuff where we can just talk about freaking video games together. I'm on Twitch doing that stuff all day. Fucking, oh wait, freaking love it. I guess I'd fucking love it, dude. I don't care. We'll swear that. All right, Manoa, where are you? I seem to have lost your face. There you are. This card, great contact versus both sides. Dude, I'm twisted up. I saw 90-99, didn't even look. Manoa, starting pitcher. Okay, he's got a sinker and a circle change. I love it. A slider, a horizontal breaking one, a circle change to break vertically, and then a sinker to kind of throw him off the slider, right? Because a sinker and a slider, I feel like they look very similar. You could tunnel them really well, and then the change up too will break down. Now, the biggest issue with a lot of pitchers is the difference in velocities. Some of these pitchers are really grouped in velocities, and that's a major negative. You want like, a 70 miles per hour. Like, that's why Hoffman's so good. 70 mile per hour changeup with like a mid-90s fastball or low-90s fastball. Like him going from 93 to 82 being his range, it's at least a sinker. I guess his fastball's a 94, but I don't really throw fastballs if I got a four-seamer, if I got a sinker. The sinker's just that much more effective. So anyways, with that said, I think he's good. Hits per 9 at 99 is solid, especially for a starter. And there's not a whole lot of like great starters. Like the good starters in the game in the live series, it's like Corbin Burns, and that's it, right? There's like literally no other good starters in the live series. There's okay starters, I think, but Corbin Burns is the only one that can compete with it. And especially like his pitch control, his slider's got 99 break on it too. His sinker doesn't have a ton of break, but I do like just sinker, circle change, and then a hard breaking slider. The reason I don't say DeGrom's good, his slider is terrible movement this year. I don't know why they nerfed him so hard. That's why I don't say he's part of the good pitcher collection. All right, we're going way too long in this video. I got to hurry up. I got to stop waxing poetic about freaking these face of the franchise guys. We got to make it quicker. Sorry, guys. All right, Corey Seager here at number 21. I think Seager is just a little too slow for the middle infield. Now, I think at third base, you've got a great third baseman. Now, do I like contact above power? I'd prefer it maybe the other way, unless I'm playing higher on the ladder at like Hall of Fame or so. His defense, at least a little bit to be desired. He is going to be dragging a tractor on the base pass, but like it's a bat first middle infielder. It's got value. It's right there, but it's value with downsides, and that's why he's 21 on the list and not any higher. All right, next up, number 20 will be another middle infielder. This one a little bit more balanced, but kind of a wacky guy. All right, Wander Franco. He's the next coming of the greatest shortstop ever to play ever. And we'll see how he plays this year. But anyways, diamond hitting, diamond defense. So whatever that means, right? Don't look at those diamond things. They don't really matter. But he's got great defense, very good speed. The issue is he's a switch hitter, which I love. Against righties, you're gonna feel a little bit like you got a hollow bat, right? You're gonna be like, oh wait, I squared that up, and then it's like it's gonna go like 200 feet. You're like, oh, well, that wasn't very fun. So that's why he's 20. I love everything about the way he hits right, everything except the way he hits righties, and you're gonna face a majority righties out there. It's tough. Next up on the list is number 19, which will be a fast catcher. I said we don't have a lot of them, and we got one right here, though. JT Realmuto for your Philadelphia Phillies. Now, that speed and that arm is crazy, right? 98 arm is basically maxed out, right? Parallel 1, it's 99, it's done. Speed, you can get up to 90, obviously, on his Parallel 5. I don't know if he will end up getting to 90, but overall, maybe the bat's a little light. It's a right-handed bat. Right-handed bats are a little bit more common, but you want to have, I feel like, more righties in your lineup than lefties, unless you're really good hitting lefty-lefty. I'm not going to judge which way you're better against than the other one, but I don't like hitting lefty-lefty at all. But anyways, I do prefer lefty bats, though. I don't know. It's just maybe because of my IRL leftiness with the bat. So, yeah, you're giving up the offensive capabilities for a catcher, but you're going to basically allow almost no stolen bases unless, they have 99 speed, 99 steal, and maybe they get an extra step on you. And then you're also going to be able to leg out infield singles. So it's a trade-off, right? It's a trade-off. I like him enough to put him at number 19. He's not going to hit a lot of dongers, but I think he's going to be a productive force of your team if you do end up going with him over. I think we got another one here in a bit. But anyways, Haniger with the AL West. All right, where we at? We're Haniger. So, Mr. Haniger, another right-handed bat. Not great against righties, but he's got power in spades, and he is a lefty destroyer. Speed isn't great for the outfield. So while his bat, it really, takes, I don't know, punishment like a Batman to criminals, you're giving and you're sacrificing defense, which I don't love. So it's like, oh man, how offensive focused do you want to be in right field? He's got an 88 arm, which is cool. 79 reaction, you probably, parallel that once, get up to 80. I don't know if there's like a threshold there or anything, but the higher the number, the better at that. So you're really, really doing harm to your outfield defense, which is important. Like, if you guys haven't noticed it yet, outfield defense it's even more important this year than last year. We thought last year was a big deal. This year is huge. So Mitch Haniger, his bat really wanted me to place him higher, and you compare it to say with like something like Cody Bellinger, right, who does have a worse bat. I mean, have you seen this? This has been a crazy fall from grace for Bellinger. He's still like the quote unquote face of the franchise for him. I'm clearly blind. Where is Bellinger? There he was. Right, the bat's 88, 86. The power is fine. It's not gonna get you like those like, whoa, that was a BS home run. But it is going to get you perfect home runs. It's going to get you, spots that you think like you actually crushed it. It's going to go out of the park. He's got an incredible arm. Look at that reaction at 91. So he can play right field, left field, first base, I guess, if you have too many outfielders. He struggles with contact against lefties, which, I've talked about issues lefty on lefty, and you're double punished because your contact's so low. And you know what? If you're great with the PCI, yeah, sure, maybe Bellinger plays better, pretty good for you. But overall, I don't know if I want this card with that bat. Dude, Bellinger's cards used to be so insane. It feels like such a letdown. I don't know. Maybe I'm too high on that Bellinger card right there. He's got a sweet swinging game. I will say Bellinger does have a very smooth swing. Same with Devers. I kind of like his swing too. So let's go ahead and take a look at Devers. They're both, I think it's because they're both like pull players. And I think the extreme pull guys hit the best in this game because you get pitched inside quite a bit. Devers, now he's a corner infielder, so speed isn't as important at that position. Reaction is, fielding is, and he's low there. So he can absolutely destroy right-handed pitching. And with his sweet stroke adds on top of it. But he's not going to really hit anything with too much velocity against lefties. So not great defense, not great against lefties' power, and that's kind of why he's middle of the list. Maybe you can argue, is that valuable at the corner? Because, there's some competition there at third, but I don't know. I got him at 16 because I do like the way Devers' cards have played for me in the past, which is maybe I gave him a little bit too much based off a new year, new me approach. But I just like the way his cards have played, so that's why he got number 16 for me. Casey Mize right there. We see a starting pitcher. And my starters, if they ain't got a sinker, I ain't that interested. Okay, now he is actually up. Somebody actually got themselves a Mize. They've leveled up. They got their XP. Get out of the way of the pitches here so you can see it. Again, another guy with it's a 12-mile-per-hour difference between his fastest and his slowest. But the thing about Mize is I do love the movement on that splitter, sinker, that kind of stuff. So maybe not insane on the curveball slider there, but overall, pretty accurate pitches there that aren't going to go too far away from where you're inputting your commands at, unless you miss wildly. His hit per 9 is low, and his K per 9 is very low, which definitely does nerf the card, which even though he's got a cool pitch mix, right? Slider, sinker, splitter, curveball, he's got things breaking every way except for the cutter. That's his only downside, is no cutter. It's the per 9s that kind of maybe go like this on the card. So that's why my eyes hit 15. Number 14 will end up being Mullins. Isn't that something you take on a golf course when you want to hit the ball again? I take Mullins quite a bit. So Baltimore Oriole here. Outfield, center field, good reaction. Speed is solid. Fielding solid. Arm a little weak. But he's got a good bat. A left-handed bat. Smokes righties. Struggles a little bit against lefties, but overall a pretty solid across the board card. He really doesn't have a ton of weakness. I don't love the arm, I guess, the most thing out of this Mullins card. But he does smash readies. Now, my love for switch hitters and Josh Bell in this game has played well for me. His stats this year aren't anything to really write home about on the card, but like 90 power, 86 versus lefties. So both sides of the plate, because he switch, he's going to hit the heck out of the ball, at least with some authority. It's not going to be insane, like 120 power, of course, but he's going to hit you home runs, and you're going to be at the advantage every single at-bat with him against a pitcher. That's beautiful. He cannot play outfield, okay? It says secondary position, left field, right field. No, don't even try it, okay? He's a first baseman. Don't, like, 42 speed in the outfield. You're going to reap what you sow right there. So, a bat first baseman, and a switch hitter. And I love them, dude. I love switch hitters. Number 12. I'm a little low on relievers, I feel like. And this is another one. Devin Williams' biggest problem, though, and you're going to see this Devin Williams cards, you're going to go crazy, right? Four seam, cutter, screwball, circle, change, and look at those per nines. Gorgeous, right? I could get out of the way of them. The issue is, look at the mile per hours on these pitches. They're all the same. Now, a four seam and a cutter, right? The cutter is going to come in like a sideways change. It's going to be weird. So the circle change is going to fall. Now, okay. This is the craziest part. Right here. Watch this. All 99s on the movement. That's insane. Okay? That is insane. That is just wild. So, we'll see how he ends up playing, but I am very nervous with cards with like 2 pitch speeds. There is literally 2 pitch speeds on this guy. But the cutter is going to move enough to basically be the slider. It's more like a slutter with 99 movement on it. And then screwball and circle change both. It's just too bad that screwball and circle change aren't a different mile per hour. But basically, what like the airbender that Devin Williams has IRL, they can't properly model in this game for some reason. I think they need to fully go to customized pitches. They get like stack track, or like they need to do something, and they just need to put it in the game. They needed to do it and customize pitches to players in the game instead of having like an overarching, all right, you choose a generic circle change and we try and model it by giving you a circle change and a screwball. Because his circle change is so unique and so good. They gotta just make it unique. They gotta give players, and like we got individualized swings. Why can't we get individualized pitches now? They need to get off it, and for next year maybe they need to do that. That should be the biggest priority for the game next year. All right, Marcus Stroman. We got another starter here, and you know my starter definitely gotta have that sinker to be ranked up this high on the list. And let me tell you, he does. I cannot find him. I am dead in the brain. Stroman. There you are. All right. Stroman. Per 9's a little low. You want to see that, hits per 9 is the inner PCI, which people care about the most, but you do want to strike people out, right? So K per 9 being low kind of hurts. His pitch mix, do you think everything's within 7 miles of each other? And especially because I'm only be throwing sinkers, I won't be throwing the four-seamer. Everything's within 6 miles per hour of each other. That's terrible, right? The fact that a sinker and a splitter is only 5 miles per hour apart, like, it sucks, right? He's got decent movement on him, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I feel like I'm going to be a sinker slider kind of pitcher with him. And then the splitter and cutter I'll throw once in a while. I'll backdoor cutter or something. Kind of weird. I kind of want to see how this guy's in action. But I feel like change of velocity, like keeping a hitter off balance, is the most important thing. I feel like Stroman might be worse than I have him ranked here. Logan Webb, similar pitcher, same problem. Like, look at Logan Webb's velocity differences in these pitches. It's like, okay, if you throw the four-seamer, fine. The slider at 83, it's actually 10 miles per hour difference. So that's why I rated Logan Webb a little bit above him, because of the mile per hour difference. But he has a sinker cutter, which I love. The per 9's low. 84 hits per 9. I don't like that. But overall, good control. Walks per 9 is nice. I guess I can get my head out of the way here. Pitch break, though. Look at that break on the sinker changeup, and sliders breaks even's pretty good, too. So I think Logan Webb could play really well for us. I got him at 10, though. Just a little nervous about the differentials. But overall, I think they're fine enough. I mean, he doesn't throw gas. So you're not going to be blown away by it, which definitely limits his upside against better competition. Luis Robert here. is good, really nice, and he plays a tough position, right? Center field with 93 speed. I guess not tough. I don't know why I said that. It wasn't tough. It's just he plays a good center field with 89 reactions. So parallel 1, 90. Parallel 2, 90 fielding. His arm is a little bit on the noodle side. I think it's about league average. 74 seems average-ish. Kills lefties. Not as great against righties, but kills lefties. With that kind of speed, there is value at this position right here. So I do really like the Roberts card right there. Or did I say Roberts? I meant Robert. Robert. Singular. Number 8, Jazz. Jazz plays the middle infielder. Do you guys like jazz music? I'm just trying to kill time while I find his card. There it is. All the way bottom there. Overall, fast. Plays the important infield positions, second base, shortstop, and he plays it really well with that reaction and fielding. Arm, fine. Like I said, it's like average, nothing crazy there. His bat's pretty good. He's a lefty bat. Hits righties okay with the 84 power, which should come off and hit you some home runs. So a guy that's this quick, that's this good in the field, that can pop you for some home runs, I like it, right? A left-handed bat. Obviously, there's been a few left-handed bats through this, but I think a majority of the bats that you'll probably field in your lineup are going to be right-handed. So having Jazz being able to go lefty there is, I feel like, a bonus. But yeah, you only really want, like, at maximum 3 lefties in your lineup. I think, like, if you go 4, you get way too vulnerable to left-handed relievers. All right, Buxton. Talk about speed. Now, this card, it's weird. He's going to get a lot of outs for you. Like, he's going to make a lot of outs. Not really. I mean, like, power against righties, whatever. Power against lefties, whatever. Contact against righties really low. So, yeah, you'll be making a few outs with him at the plate. But you are going to rob so many outs with this guy. There is not a single card that I hated playing against more last year than Byron Buxton. So while his bat is on the noodle side, not as much noodle, power's usable, is the contact versus righty that kills you right there. And you'll face, like I said, a majority righty hitters. So overall, this card, just insane. Insane in whatever membrane you have in your brain. All right, number 6. So Buxton, we'll see how he plays this year, but yikes. That card last year, oof. The card last year was a little bit better than this, but because it was a lightning card first month. Sean Murphy will be my number 6. We'll see if he gets an upgraded card again. I hate good fielders in the outfield. They move so fast. It's unrealistic how good outfield defense is in this game with that kind of speed and the reaction. Sean Murphy. See that M? There's the M. Okay, Murphy. A catcher with pop. Love it. And then look at that arm. A perfect arm at parallel 1. Parallel 1's pretty easy to go. Pretty easy to get to. Oh my goodness. I mean, maybe you can ask for some more contact, but dude, if you get that ball in that PCI against the righty specifically, it's going places. A lefty, it's not bad either. But yeah, look at that defense. Look at that power. This plays in this game perfect, right? This game is very power focused. All right, next up, number 5 for. So if like you're beating catchers with that kind of attribute breakdown, you got to be good. And Tommy, switch hitting Tommy. He's got a Tommy gun out there for you. Now, I adore it. Look at the flexibility. This card plays every position and like freaking quarterback too. All right, he plays like positions on sports we're not even gotten in the game right here. All right, pretty fast. 88 speed is plenty fast. He's god tier in the field. Arm, okay, could be better. The only downside of this card is that power versus righty. He'll be swinging a noodle against righties, which is, oh my god, he's so close to perfect though. So close. I don't know how many people are going to end up using him because that power righty, it's so low. I'm interested in trying him because he's such an ace everywhere else. But man, that might actually doom the card. But I got him at 5 just because he's so good looking everywhere else. Number 4, Aroldis Chapman. Dude throws gas. I mean, what else do you need? He doesn't have Outlier on this card. Oh, shoot. Hit the wrong button. He does not have Outlier, which is, obviously a little bit of a nerf from last year's card, but his per 9s are crazy. He is very wild. Like, you will not be able to dot as well as a lot of other pitchers. Look at his balls per 9. If you see that, control, a little bit low too. Get out of the way. His break, though, slider, that slider is like, the fastball's important, but his slider might be the bigger weapon. Splitter. People expect you to come up just throwing gas with him. And I think the best players I play against throw the slider first. Because you're just up there to hit cheese. So now I'm just in my own bar. I don't even know, dude. I'm going against the Chapman card. Even against righties, I don't mind Chapman. The up and away fastball, the slider at the back knee, because you're looking at the fastball inside. He's a weapon. I think you're gonna see this card all over. This is gonna be in almost everybody's bullpen, unless this live series cards ends up beating it out somehow. Number 3, it's got to get a lot better to beat that Chapman card. Brian Reynolds, a little bit of favoritism. Pirates are my favorite team. I don't think I told you guys that. I don't know if I ever made that known. But Brian Reynolds, okay. You're like, power versus lefty. He sucks. I don't care. I straight up, I'm not hearing it. Reynolds, good swing. Good against righties, which is, again, like the majority of the people you're going to face. Good contact versus lefties. So you might be able to get some cheap hits there. Switch hitting. I love it. Good speed. Good defense. He is my 4.8 tool man. Beautiful. I hope we don't trade him. I'll be crushed. I'll die a little inside. But I'm a Pirates fan. I'm already dead. Number 2 is another outfielder. Ronald Acuna. Ronald, how the heck did he get hit in this promo? He's so crazy. Acuna. Matada. Where are you? Acuna. There you are. Mr. Junior. Great power. Great speed. Good defense. Great arm. Incredible arm. Great speed, great power. Maybe the reaction's a little low. I'd be interested in seeing how he is reacting out there. But overall, great. Right? Screw the contact. We got quirks, baby. Look at these quirks. Quirks, all day, all night. Homebody, dead red, unfazed, night player, breaking ball hitter. So he's got dead red and breaking ball hitter. Every pitch you throw him, he'll have bonuses to his contact and power. He has good exit velocity. I'll tell you that. But talk about good quirks and good exit velocity. If there's ever a list with baseball players on it and Mike Trout isn't number 1, the list is wrong. Okay? There's no shot I wasn't putting Trout number 1 on this list. Okay? Like, you're like, oh, what about his contact versus lefty, power versus lefty? Shut up. Okay? Shut up. It ain't that big a deal. Look at this stuff. Breaking ball, dead red, rally, unfazed, night player, homebody, pressure cooker. Gorgeous. Okay? Gorgeous. Don't care about the rest of it. He's fast. Good enough in the outfield. It's Mike Trout, dude. Get Mike Trout. If you got an option Mike Trout, take Mike Trout. Don't care who else. Mike Trout, Acuna, Brian Reynolds. Those are your 3 outfielders. If you chose, let's see. Maybe you take, I don't know. I personally, if the choices, you get one choice like each division, right? I'm definitely taking those 4 of those divisions. Shaw, no, I can't take him. Can't take him. Buxton, oh no. If you go Buxton over Reynolds, okay, that means NL Central, then you can go center. You can go right there. Or you can get another reliever. Or a starter. Either one, depending on the rest of your staff or bullpen. And then AL West, East, Central, East. I got West. Do I have an AL Central? Yeah, he's my AL Central. That's my NL Central. What do I have left? NL West, right? Logan Webb. Oh my God, it worked out perfect. There it is. You can get all of them in the top 11. Beautiful. All right, that's the video. Those are my choices, my recommendations. But choose who you want, man. Choose a team. Choose a player from your favorite team. For free. Stuff for free. These cards are insane. Free Mike Trout. Or you can get one randomly. And then pick another one off the list. But let me know where I messed up. I think the ones I'm most nervous that I messed up on, like I talked about, was relievers. I think Clace, I might want to put higher. Thinking about it again. But let me know. I mean, they're all 90 overall. They're all pretty close to each other. Yeah, your play style matters too. Who you hit better with, righties, lefties. I prefer switches, like I talked about the most. All right, that's the video. Hope you liked it. Please like it. Please subscribe. Really helps out the channel. That's why I do these things. So that way we can help each other. Pat each other on the back. Well, maybe below the belt handshake sometimes. Bye.